Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick review of a couple of products, and I'm going to get straight to it because everybody doesn't like a long intro, so here we go. I ordered this product. I had it by the next day. So first of all, kudos to, where did I get it? Sephora. Next day. I didn't pay for next day. They just put it in the mail right away, and the U.S. mail, I guess, will get it too if you're in the same city the next day. So I got it. So be careful about paying for next day, especially if you're close enough. You'll have it within a day or two because our, I don't know about our regular mail, but our postage mail works very well in this country. Actually, so does letters. You know, I get those too. What am I doing down here? I'm always straightening my bracelets. Do y'all do that? Oh, before I get started, I'll have to tell you about one of my purchases that I made. This is a Jean Dousset, and I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, right? Look at the side, like a little pear-shaped diamond on the side right there, and all these little diamonds, the double halo crown, and look into that thing. Is that a fine piece of work or what? This is a real Jean Dousset. Don't believe me? I got my box. I totally forgot to put this in, so now I'm digging. You would think that I would have had this ready. Okay, see this tote? Oh my gosh, it's so big. How can you find anything in here? Okay, I have to tell you about one more thing. I am really enjoying these, guys. If you want to get a set of pens for your day planner, your life planner, whatever you want to call it, or if you're an artist, or you like drawing, or you just like color coding organizational things, this 20-pack Statler is fantastic. It's a very small pen tip, and it's like a felt tip. It's very good. It does not bleed through paper. It's got every color you could dream of, and I absolutely love it. So, now to the box. There's the box. Jean Dousset. Absolute. You guys, this is so real looking that he says you can put this next to his real diamonds, which this at about 2 carats will probably be about 28-30 grand. Okay, because this is about 2 carats, I would say. But look how deep and heavily faceted. You can't see through this guy. And look at the detail that he normally would do. These are his same settings, just instead of extremely high quality diamonds, it's an extremely high quality CZ that he calls absolute. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you wanted to have a Jean Dousset, just because he's a very, I think he's the great-grandson or great-great-grandson of Cartier, and he is a very high designer in Beverly Hills, and if you would just like to have one, well, there you are. They're just for fun. And people say, well, that's what I would take for traveling because I wouldn't take the real stuff. Let me tell you, you travel with this, you're still going to get the same kind of proposition because this looks so real that, you know, somebody might try to take your jewelry. I don't know. That's true of these too. These are, y'all know I'm not a rich person. These are Naudry. These are not real. Now the rest, I mean, that's a real Tiffany because I wanted to have my own engraving on that. And these are from my husband, so they're real. Oh, that's real. Ah, I forgot my other rings. Hey, I'm ring and ring. Well, rings and ring, but that's so unusual for me because I'm a blinger. Beth the Blinger. That sounds like I should make myself a new YouTube name. Okay, back to the product that I got. I ordered the Touche Clay Blur Perfector, and it has a natural rosy glow. Therefore, the packaging is rose, and I am a sucker for packaging. So I got it. You know, it comes in its little velveteen pouch, just like Chanel's do. And I want to show you, because I've already tried the product today, how pretty the compact is. See how it's just a blush rose instead of just the gold on gold. Did you notice anything funny? It won't close. Why? Because the sponge that came with it won't fit in the compact. YSL, you charge a lot of money for your makeup. You should have fixed this. I'm shipping this back. 2 reasons. One, you can't fit the powder puff that you put this on with. You can see it is a blush tinted. It could even pass for a peach because it's kind of a neutral face tone, but it's more pink than it actually is peach. And all it really is filler. That's why it's called a blur. So you use this to put it on, and usually on either side of your nose, down your nose, and on your chin. And that's about the only place you'd want to put it. Now, if you'll notice, I do look pinker. Do you see how I look pinker there? But that's not what it's set to do. It's set to get rid, you can see, it has filled in all of my pores. So you cannot see what we, as older ladies, call the orange peel. I have a smooth face, and when you touch it, it is so smooth. So it is very finely milled and all of that. But you can't fit this back in there. I just, look. It won't work. The only way to close this is to not use that. Then it closes. Where are you going to put this? I would like to have this with me for touch-up, so I want this. So the only other thing that I could do if I do decide to keep this, I'm very ticked about this because it's a very expensive product. So I could just use my fingers and put it on that way. And that's not the end of the world. I could. But then you got to kind of just rub it back into your skin somewhere and close this. So this can only be used at home. And even at home, where am I going to put this? In a little cellophane and stick it in a drawer? I cannot believe that in trying to make this sleek and keep the packaging small, they did not account for such a small difference. That is not that big of a packaging cost, and it just shows they did not think it through, and it will not close. I'm thinking, well, maybe what if I just mashed it closed? You don't pay this kind of money for that. So the only thing I think that you could do is use this pouch and just, it won't be closed, but you can slide it in there, like hold it closed, and then just that way. I don't know. YSL I'm not happy about it. I'm going to have to think about it. Think about whether I'm going to spend the money for a flawed packaging. Alright. I know I sound rough because I do think I would not use this as filler anywhere else. Like if they said fine line and wrinkles, I'd say no. For one thing, it's rose colored. It does have a hint of rose. And I don't want rose color under my eye. Does it fill the pores? Yes, it does. So could a finely milled powder, but this is a cream base, so it's going to last longer. So it does give a porcelain look, and as you get older, that is harder and harder to come by. If it's really, really hot, it is going to melt eventually throughout the day, but this has had pretty good staying power today, so I already put it on earlier, as you saw. So I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it, because I think the product works only here, 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 and here. That's it. So this is not meant in any way to be a blur for under your eyes. So it can only fill pores, not fine lines, because you don't typically have fine lines here. You have open pores. Okay, the next thing is, I think I did good on this. This is the new Urban Decay Smokey palette. Now, what I will say about this is it is insanely reminiscent of the Urban Decay number 2. Not the packaging, but it comes with this little brochure. The keys to a perfect smoky eye. And one of the things you have to remember is a smoky eye is not the color of smoke. A smoky eye is where a color smokes out. Like, you know, when smoke comes up, it's concentrated at the bottom and then it gets thinner as it goes up. That's what a smoky eye is. So you can have a brown smoky eye, which is actually what I have on today. Now, it is the end of the day, so my neutral color in between the brow highlight and my crease color may, and matter of fact, it does look like it's faded enough that it kind of isn't quite as blended and smoky looking. But this is a brown smoky eye. You can do, one of the most famous ones is the black smoky eye. And usually, a lot of times people use a black color on their lid, but sometimes they'll use the white on their lid and on their brow, and they'll put a charcoal gray in the crease and a black in the outer V. But you can do a navy or green smoky eye, and it's really, really beautiful. So they give you perfect instructions on how to do it. And just different styles. See, there's the one, here's the one where you've got the lighter color on the lid, and here's the one where you have the dark color on the lid. So it gives really good instructions, and you can't always assume, you know, that's why we're on YouTube doing this. You can't always assume that people know how to do a smoky eye. The packaging's really pretty, and more importantly, I like that it is not the metal. I didn't like the metal. This is plastic, hard plastic, and looks like that. It's pretty thick. It's a little bit lighter weight because of it, and it's magnetic closure, which I like better than that, just the way that other one kind of chicleted closed. This has a cover over the mirror, so I'm going to take that off because I actually like a, you know, people are like, well, then you get powder all over your mirror. You're going to get powder all over it anyway. Okay, and then it's got this brush. This reminds me of a Sigma brush, or just a good brush. It's kind of it's a blender brush, but it's pointed, so it's a little bit more of a focused blender brush. As you can see, that's going to give you a little bit better focus for the crease, and then that will be a very good pencil brush for smudging both in the V and also under the eye. So this is good for everything except highlight, and there is certainly always going to be highlight, so this is a nice added brush. It's not the only brush you need for this unless that's all you do. I'm going to put this higher so you don't see the mirror, and also so you can see the colors really good. I would say they're well represented on the screen as the colors that they actually are. You can see that on the opposite end over there that you have more shimmer frosts down here, and down here you have more of the matte. Obviously it's more neutral on the ends, and in the middle it gets darker, so there's incredible amount of combinations that you can do with this. And I think this is a really good palette to have if you're traveling, because you could do a really nice day look, a really nice night look, and everything in between. It's truly browns and blacks. There is no real purple. There's Smolder, which is right here, and that's kind of a purpley gray, but it's this is not a color palette. Whereas I noticed that, like, the last chocolate palette that came out from, I think, who's that? Too Faced. The one that smells like chocolate that everybody absolutely adores. I think they came out with a semi-sweet. It had some colors. It's always good to add a blue and a green in there, or at least a plum. Whiskey down here. No, that's brown. That's brown. Smolder's the only color that isn't in the brown or black line. And again, it really, part of a black line is a gray, and so it just has a hint of purple to it. So I think this is going to be really great, and I'll be doing some makeup tutorials, so y'all can look forward to that, so that we can just see a couple different ways to do a smoky eye. Last but not least, the really cool thing about ordering from them, and I think Nordstrom's does this too, is that you can get up to 3 samples. And today, one of the samples that I got sold me. I've been thinking about getting this. It's expensive, but I thought, well, you know, it's finally offered as a sample. I'll go ahead and order it and see if I really like it enough to order the expensive full size. And it's Tom Ford's Portofino, Neroli. And it's Portofino. It smells like suntan lotion, to be honest. And I think what that scent is the orange blossom. There's a lot of other scents in it, so if somebody's watching this, don't say, that's not all it is. It is a wonderful smell. I will be purchasing it. This I have not tried yet, but it looks great. It's called Replica, and then the other one that I got was Acqua di Parma, and that also looks like it's going to be a pretty neat sample. I can't even remember if I got these for my husband or me. I can't tell. That's pretty sad when you can't tell if it's for a male or a female. I think this is a male. Replica's a male. Oh yeah, it says male. Yeah, I got that for my husband so that when he travels, he's a musician on the side of his job, and he has a small business, but he also is a musician. And so when he travels, he just likes carrying these little things, you know, so that he can have a decent cologne on, because they do pretty high-end gigs, so he needs to look nice, smell nice, all of that. Not too nice. I'm just kidding. I totally trust him. But anyway, so those little sizes are good for him to carry, and also that's why I like getting samples from me, is because that's good to carry instead of a bottle of perfume when you're on a trip and you think, yeah, but I don't want the whole thing. It's like, why? You're only going to do a few squirts from it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again in my next video.